We're pretty much nearing the end of any of our builds for this character. So Bad Piggy now is pretty set. Kind of looks like we are, based off of the guide, looks like we're pretty solid. The one thing I'm gonna do is add some eyelids and also maybe do a little bit of coloring, yeah, so we can kind of get that going, and then our last bit will just be getting it ready to animate, yeah. So here we have our character. I'm gonna start making the eyes. Again, this is gonna be very similar to how you made the Angry Bird one. I'm gonna start with the right eye, duplicate that. Okay, this is gonna be the actual eyelid instead. One thing I'm noticing about this one is as soon as I duplicate it, it is kind of setting its rotation point back to the center, which is not ideal. I actually want this in the center of my character, of the eye itself, and so I'm going to change this. I'm going to go into modify and choose the center pivot option. What that'll do is it'll make the pivot point and bring it back to the middle. Yeah, I'm also gonna scale it up, so I'm gonna press R, just so the eyelid is a little bit larger than the eye itself. I'm gonna rename this. Oh, well, yeah. So I'll call this right eyelid, and then I'm actually gonna have to rename it again a little bit later. Yeah, when we choose whether this is the top or the bottom, and then I can kind of turn this, and I'm gonna turn it in such a way where it is kind of facing up and downwards, yeah, as best as I can, yeah, and kind of set that in place, yeah. And then we can kind of break this into two pieces, yeah. So once I do that, I'm going to go modify. I'm going to freeze my transformations, yeah. So this looks kind of good, I think. Let's take a look. I'll probably use my, actually um, I'll use my view a little bit to just kind of flatten this out, even in my um, even in my perspective view. That looks a little bit more straight across. And then again, modify freeze transformations. Yeah, this is just to get rid of any weird angles. And then from here, I can now go press Q, or I can take on the arrow key, right click. I'm going to go into face mode because just like with the Angry Bird, I'm going to get rid of most of the faces that are on the bottom. Yeah, so anything below this line right over here, I'm going to kind of get rid of. So we're going to do that. Just to make sure that I'm doing this right, I'm going to x-ray and take a look. And it looks like I caught a little bit too much of this area right over here. So I'm going to redo the selection. And this is actually the faces that I want to select, yeah, for my right eyelid. And then I can go in back into my shading, take off my x-ray, and delete that, yeah. And then this will be my right eyelid, but this will be the top one, yeah. So I'm going to keep that. See if my rotation point is still right. Yeah, so I can probably work with that. And then maybe actually kind of turn it a little bit. Yeah, so if it does do any closing, it'll go like this. Yeah, okay, yeah, that'll kind of work. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of rotate it. And let's see. Yeah, I can kind of leave that at that. And then I'm gonna rename this to right eyelid top. Alright, now I am in my rotation tool right here. The main reason why I'm in my rotation tool is so that I can kind of rotate um, my eyelid, yeah, to make sure that it does close the way that I intended it to close. Right now I'm kind of closing it over here. It's not bad. I kind of don't like my rotation too much going from left to right, so I'm going to actually turn that a little bit. But yeah, that's your call. This is not that big of a deal. And then yeah, try to have that, and then make sure that it does eventually, when it does go up, it is able to hide. Yeah, main thing is it should be inside of the body when we don't see it. Yeah. The other thing is we are going to close this little gap, yeah, between the eyelid and the eye. Kind of the same thing like how we did with the Angry Bird. So I'm going to double click on this, do my extrude, so that's my command E, and then I'm going to go into my edit mesh tool and choose the merge to center. And again, what that does is it closes it up, so it kind of merges everything to this one point over here. Yeah, so that's a solid object instead of having like that little opening, yeah, for the eyelid. Okay, I'm gonna switch this back to take off the X-ray, yeah, so you can kind of take a look at that. Okay, so that's gonna be my top eyelid. I'm actually gonna leave this information on here for now. I don't think I'm actually going to change that. I'm also going to duplicate this, yeah, and this is going to be my other one. So this is going to be my right eyelid again, but this time it's going to be the bottom one, yeah. So if I click on the red, yeah, rotate in my rotate tool, yeah. So that's my E, okay, and I can kind of do some interesting stuff with the eyes as well, yeah. So he can look suspicious, he can look tired, that sort of thing. That's all going to be kind of incorporated into this, and then I can rename this one to right eyelid bottom, yeah. All I did was rotate it and duplicate it. I'm not going to do any changing of the elements of like kind of any of the other elements. I'm not really going to change too much of that, yeah. As far as making it uh, yeah, I'm going to kind of leave that alone. Okay, same thing with the other ones. So again, I'm going to do the same thing real quick. Select this. I'm going to duplicate the eyeball itself. I realize the eyes are actually a little bit weird, so I'm going to have to jump back to that a little bit also. But for now, I'm duplicating the left eye. I'm going to turn this into the left eye eyelid. So I'm going to rename that in the channel box. From here, I'm gonna center the pivot, yeah, for the eyeball itself. Rotate it so that it is. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna actually again scale this up a little bit. Yeah, so scale that up a little bit. Okay, and then use my rotate tool to kind of turn it so that the equators are at the top and the bottom. Yeah, and try to flatten it as much as possible. So in the perspective view, yeah, using the rotation tool to kind of get it so that it's facing like, yeah, the horizontal line is pretty much going straight across, yeah. Once I have that, I can do my modify and freeze the transformations. That'll clean up my information on here. And just like with the other side, go into face mode. Yeah, so right click, go into face mode. Select all the faces that are on the bottom. So I'm going to go into my wireframe. Oh, sorry, my X-ray. Yeah, so shading X-ray, just so I can kind of see all the way across, and then I want to get all the faces that are below this line. Yeah, so basically the southern hemisphere. I'm gonna delete that. Okay, and then I can go back and do my shading, take off my X-ray. Okay, this will kind of work out pretty well, I think. Check my rotation. Rotation is gonna be the weird part, I think. But we're gonna close up the gap on this first. So I'm gonna go into edge mode. So right click edge mode, double click, do an extrude. So Command E, yeah, and I double clicked on all these edges before I did my extrude. Then I go to my edit mesh and merge this to center. Yeah, so that kind of close that up. When I go back to my object mode over here, again we'll see like the gap has been closed. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back to my rotate tool by clicking on E, check my angle. You're probably gonna notice like the eyeball doesn't quite work exactly right. Yeah, it should actually be turned a little bit. So I'm gonna kind of turn this and then rotate it so that when it does roll back, we don't see it. Yeah, so it should end up in the pig's body. Yeah, so that's the most important thing that we're kind of getting out of this. Yeah, and then once you have that, yeah, that's your location for it, and then here's your eyelid. Yeah, something like this. Maybe turn it just a little bit more. Yeah, that looks like that'll kind of do what I want it to do. Okay, again, just like with the right side. Yeah, now I have my left eyelid, and then make sure I label it as the correct one. So this is going to be the top one. I also am going to need a left eye bottom one. Yeah, so for that one, I'm going to kind of take this one and let me rotate this a little bit. Shucks. Yeah, we'll go about there. Okay. And then I'm going to duplicate that. This is going to be my duplicate. Of course, is going to be my bottom one. Keep turning it until, notice I'm only going to, in my rotation, I'm only going to use the vertical, yeah, line over here. So, and then this is going to be my left eyelid bottom. So change that to bottom over here. This one I won't have to change any of the orientation of it. Like, yeah, and then this one also kind of like with the top one. When the eyes roll back, we shouldn't see it at all. Yeah, so both of these, you kind of roll those back. Yeah, that's my top and my bottom. They're there, but they won't go into action until we click on this and kind of change that. Yeah, so here's my lids over here. Okay, so we can kind of do some cool stuff with that as well for his eyes. All right. Okay, but that's pretty much all the stuff that we're gonna have to for as far as moving things around. As far as animating this, we do need to make sure that the rotation points are correct. So I'm gonna click on this eyeball over here. At some point, it looks like I messed up with the rotation point, so I'm gonna have to move that. This rotation point should be in the middle of the in the middle. So if I go here, select it, and then I'll modify and just do a freeze transformation, you'll notice that it kind of stays in the middle. But if I go into here and modify and choose center pivot, okay, it'll stay in the eyeball, yeah, which is way more ideal, yeah. And then we can kind of move the eye around, yeah, the way, um, like a little bit more intuitively. Same thing with this one. So I'm gonna go into this because right now if I try to rotate my eye, weird, yeah, super weird. So if I go modify center pivot, that'll center it, and then I can kind of move my eye. It'll stay on its axis, yeah, and it won't just kind of rotate as if it were orbiting. All right, okay. So here's all the pieces. I'm gonna really quickly like put together my colors. So it looks like there's um, really four main, oh sorry, three main greens. Yeah, we can kind of use the same black for the eye pupils, like kind of looks like, and for the eyebrows, I guess those are green also. I don't know. Oh, can kind of work with that. So I'm gonna assign new materials. Yeah, go to my Lambert. Okay, here's my color for that. Definitely gonna go with green, and then base. Yeah, so I'll call this green base just so that I know that's like the main color that I'm using for the pig. Yeah, so let's see, maybe about here. Yeah, I can kind of find a color. Yeah, you can kind of work with this right here, maybe. Yeah, right around there. Okay, and again, you can always come back to this and kind of switch that up. Yeah, so that's the green base. As far as the snout goes, looks like that's a little bit more of a yellow orange. Yeah, even this green is a little bit strong. So I'm actually gonna go back here and kind of go with something that's a little bit, I guess, yellower. Yeah, so we'll go with something that's like here, and then maybe a little bit more on this end. Yeah, so right about there. Maybe we'll go with something like that. Okay. And again, I can always kind of go back and change this. As far as the snout goes, definitely want to make sure that the snout is a different color. So that's going to be another one, right? Right click, assign a new material. Okay, from here I'm also going to choose a Lambert. We don't need any shiny stuff yet. Snout green, maybe. Yeah, snout green. Down, I am definitely, absolutely going to be choosing this more, yeah, yellowish kind of look to it. Yeah, maybe around here is pretty good. Okay, that'll work for that. Also, I realized the ears. I think the ears are the same color. Yeah, the ears are the same color as the body. So I'm going to right click on those. Assign existing material. Yeah, so assign existing material. This time I'm going to choose and drop off the green base on there. Yeah. All right, so you kind of got a bunch of our colors on here. I believe the inside of the nose is going to be, should be a different color as well. So I'm going to go into here, kind of change that up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops, 8. And I'm in face mode right now, so right click, went into face mode. Selecting all of these, right click, assign new material. Then I don't know if it's green or if it's dark, it's like black. So I'll just go with kind of dark green for now, like really dark green. Choose my color, and then I'm gonna switch that up right over here. Probably bring that over to the side. Yeah, we don't really have to worry too much about what hue we're using, but yeah, that's a pretty dark green right over there. I think that'll kind of be effective. Yeah, if you want to make it just black, that's totally fine too. Yeah, but then when we do our 3, yeah, we'll kind of have this. If you don't like how it kind of like stops early, yeah, we can also right click, go into face mode, and we can catch a few more. So we may end up kind of doing something like this where we get the inner ring as well. So I'm just holding my shift key and grabbing all of those. And then if you notice, I am switching between modes. Yeah, so 1 and 3. Yeah, just so I can kind of see what it would fully look like when it smooths out. We haven't smoothed it out yet. Yeah, so I'm gonna right click, assign existing material, and then this time I'm gonna choose the dark green. Okay, that should look a little bit better. Yeah, that looks way better. Okay. Yeah, that'll look a lot better. As far as the ear goes, kind of the same thing. Yeah. So face mode looks like I'm gonna be getting a total of let's see, 6, 10, 7, 8. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. So yeah, that's 10 faces right over there. Right click. I'm gonna assign existing material. That should be the dark green. Same thing with this one, yeah. So you can kind of see how it looks by going into object mode. You might want to color a little bit more on the outside. I'm okay with that though. And then same thing with this one again. Same faces. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. Again, right click, go into face mode. Select your faces on here. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, and then yeah, it's 12 faces. Yeah, it's 12 faces. I've been definitely was miscounting there, but yeah, 12 faces, and then drop in the green over there. Yeah, can kind of use this, I think, for the eyebrows as well. Yeah, so I'm gonna mess with that. Put right click, assign existing material, put that at dark green. Looks pretty good actually. And then for the eyes, I think they're a little bit darker again. You can make a new color for this. I'm just kind of being efficient and reusing colors. Yeah, we can kind of do over here. Okay, so we're almost there. One thing you're gonna notice is like pretty demony. Yeah, as far as like, yeah, just kind of looking at this without any pupils. So we're definitely gonna have to work on that. I am selecting both of the eyes right now, right clicking, assigning a new material. This is where I can kind of do both at the same time. This will be white material, and I just realized we should have this already with the Angry Bird, but um, so I'm not actually going to go with that. I'm just going to click on both of these. Oops, 1 and 2, holding on the shift key, right click, assign existing material, and then we have the white material. Again, that's the Angry Bird color, right? Still creepy, but then we're going to go find the pupils. Now, one thing about the pupils for the Bad Piggy is it is very, very small. Yeah, so I'm going to actually go into this eye over here, and I'm just going to select these faces right over here. Yeah, so again, I'm in face mode selecting those. Okay, and then yeah, that should be good. And then assign existing material. I already made a black material for the pupils for the Angry Bird, so I can kind of reuse it for this. Okay, oh yeah, those eyes are very beady. Okay, and then we can kind of use the face for the other one. Again, and then I'll just kind of go in here and add that in as well. Yeah, so again, zooming in right over here. Now again, I'm inside of the face, kind of like wearing the pig like a mask, which is again a weird thought. But I right click, assign existing material, and put in the black material. Yeah, and then that should be the main parts for your character. Again, we're gonna set this up for animating. Yeah, so I guess that'll be our last step here. So if you want to move things around, we already made sure that when we had a rotation point, yeah, the eye rotations were right in the center. Same thing with the eyelids, yeah. So if you don't want to see the eyelids, yeah, we can actually drop those towards the back, yeah. So, oops, my bad. Got to get the bottom one as well. Yeah, I kind of like just having the lower lid showing. He just looks absolutely, uh, yeah, like he's got issues when the eyelids are like just kind of showing at the bottom. But yeah, so this is our Bad Piggy. The other thing is like for the eyebrows. Again, if your rotation point went to the center, yeah, I'm gonna go to the center of the scene. I'm gonna go modify and do a center pivot. That'll put the center pivot on the in the eyebrows itself. Yeah, so same thing with this one. So definitely gonna do that for both of those. As far as the snout goes, we're gonna just do a quick check in the side view. Probably want to make sure. I don't think this is gonna move too much, but if you are gonna move it, yeah, you should have it like a little bit in the body. Yeah. So remember, if you need to change your pivot mode, press D. Yeah, you can kind of move it around. Yeah, and then yeah, and then you can kind of give him some options if you want to move the snout around. I don't think that was something that was in very many storyboards, but yeah, just as an option. As far as the ears go, if we move the ears at any point, you probably don't want it rolling like it's a wheel. Yeah, so I'm going to move the pivot point further down into the into the pig's head. So I'm going to press D on here, bring this down maybe to about here, and then press D again. Then we can kind of go into your E for rotate, yeah. And then this is give you that option so you can kind of like wag, I guess. Same thing with the other side, yeah. So again, press D, bring this pivot point down, okay, and then press D again. That'll get you out of pivot point mode. Hit your E key for the rotation, and then now we got some additional rotatable stuff, yeah. All right, so we almost done. Last thing we're gonna do with this piggy is we're going to make sure that he is going to move all together, kind of like the Angry Bird. Yeah, you don't want to have to animate the body and then the eyes and then the eyebrows to make sure that they're all keeping pace. We want it all in one package, kind of like a shopping cart. So what we're going to do is select all of the pieces. Yeah, so we're going to select all of the pieces of your Bad Piggy. You can kind of see that happening in your outliner as well over here. And then we're going to do a Command G, yeah, to group it. Yeah, so you can Command G. The other place you can do this is if you go to Edit and Group, yeah. But both of those, what it'll do is it'll collapse it into like a full, they're all together in like one, like almost like a vehicle. And then we're going to rename this group 1, put this at Bad Piggy. Yeah, let's put that at Bad Piggy. And then there's our full character, yeah. And then just like before, yeah, I am gonna save this, but here's what is gonna happen is you can do things with your character, yeah. So you can have him. Um, uh, let's see. I'm gonna open up the plus sign next to Bad Piggy. I'm gonna start with his eyebrows. Let's see. Oh, sorry, eyelids. Left eyelid top, left eyelid bottom, right eyelid top, right eyelid bottom. Okay, yay. Okay, so I'm gonna get right eyelid top and right eyelid, and then like kind of have it keyframed right at the beginning. Yeah, so keep that at S right there. So keyframe it, and then for the left eyelid top, I'm gonna hit the S key right over here. I'm just gonna have him like blink, yeah. So we're gonna have him at the 12th frame, yeah. S key for that. Also for the right eyelid top S key. Okay, so I'm telling it don't move until this point, and then I can then jump to 24, hit the S key again. And I'm just gonna have him kind of like look a little mad, yeah. And then left eyelid top, I'm also gonna do that with his eyelid, yeah. And then we're gonna have his eyebrows, yeah. So kind of the same thing. We can have his left eyebrow over here. At the starting point, I'm just gonna keep it at that position. Same thing with the right eyebrow. Yeah, we'll keep that in position. And then at like about the 12th frame, we'll maybe start moving it. Yeah, so I'm gonna hit the S key right over here. And then for the left eyebrow, yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing, kind of S key that. And then I want to have him like start to look a little bit more angry. So then at the 24th frame, I'm just gonna kind of turn this and bring this down, yeah, and then hit the S key. Same thing with the right eyebrow, yeah. So turn it, yeah, using the rotation tool, and then the move tool to bring this down. Okay, so he's looking kind of angry right over there, yeah. So and so then now we kind of have this thing going on, yeah, for the first 24 frames. So you can kind of play it, yeah. Now 24 frames is only 1 second, so that's why it might seem kind of fast to you folks, yeah. The other thing I'm gonna do is with Bad Piggy is that I can have him move, yeah. So while he's doing all of that, yeah, we can animate the full character. So I'm gonna click on just the Bad Piggy group, hit the S key at the 1 frame, and then at the 24th frame, I want him to jump and maybe like hop, yeah. So I'm gonna have him go from there. Maybe at the 12th frame, we'll keep him where he's at. Oh no, yeah, we'll actually just kind of go with this, yeah. 24th frame, and then this is his hop, yeah. So at the 24th frame, I'm gonna have him go up, and I'm gonna have him go forward, yeah, and hit the S key on top of there. Okay, and then what'll happen here is now you got your animations where the character's moving around, like the expressions are changing, but the character's also moving around in the same like in the same vehicle, yeah. So here's our character, we can play it, yeah. You see him like kind of go up, and he will jump. As he's jumping, yeah, then he's gonna get like angry as well, yeah. So he's jumping and getting angry, yeah. So you can probably see a better angle right here, like, rah. All right. So anyway, So that's pretty much your characters as far as setup goes. If there's anything else that you wanted to do with the characters, as far as like maybe switching out eyes or like having the mouth open and stuff like that, let me know. These are things that like I can kind of work with you folks individually. But besides that, yeah, we should be pretty good over here. So, all right. And so there's our Angry Bird, there's our Bad Piggy. So one more last thing in regards to the Bad Piggy. So we're just gonna make sure that his rotation point is at the bottom. That'll let you like do any kind of squash and stretch that you might need, and like have him still stay grounded when he's doing that. So again, if you can make sure you have your group selected, yeah, in your outliner. So the Bad Piggy group, and we're gonna move the pivot point by pressing D, and then using the move tool within the pivot point option. Yeah, so that would be your up and down arrow, and we're just gonna put this right at the bottom of the Bad Piggy. So this will be in the front view. If you check your side view, also it should be in that general area. Then when you press D later on, it'll help you control it a little bit more. So if we are doing any squash and stretch, yeah, you'd still be able to kind of keep it in, yeah, and keep it from like distorting towards the center. It's gonna distort towards the ground. Okay, but that should just about do it.